Ladies and gentlemen, to truly love yourself is one of the most courageous acts you can undertake in your life. It is not simply about accepting yourself on the surface or going through the motions of self-care. Loving yourself is about being able to look into the mirror of your soul, to face the depths of who you are, and to say, I am worthy, I am enough. It is to see yourself with all your flaws, all your vulnerabilities, and all your scars, and still choose to love yourself not despite them, but because of them. It takes courage to love yourself in a world that constantly tells you to be something other than who you are. You see, it is easy to love the idea of ourselves when everything is going well. It's easy to feel good about who we are when we are praised, when things align perfectly, when we're told we've done something right. But the real test comes when we face failure, rejection, disappointment, or self-doubt. It is in those moments, when the world around us seems to question our worth, that the true act of loving ourselves becomes an act of profound courage. When we stumble, when we fall short of our own expectations, or when others are quick to point out our flaws, it takes immense strength to stand up and remind ourselves that we are not defined by our shortcomings. It is the willingness to be kind to yourself in those moments of struggle that proves your courage. Loving yourself requires the courage to be vulnerable. It means letting go of the masks we often wear to protect ourselves from the world's judgment. It means allowing ourselves to feel deeply, to express our emotions without fear of being misunderstood, and to stand tall even when the world might tell us we don't belong. There is bravery in embracing the full spectrum of who you are, the messy, the beautiful, the unrefined. It is in this honesty with yourself that you find your true strength. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is the birthplace of personal power. It is only when we allow ourselves to be fully seen with all our imperfections that we begin to understand the incredible depth of our own resilience. The courage to love yourself is also about standing up to the limiting beliefs and negative self-talk that often cloud our minds. So many of us grow up believing we aren't good enough, or that we must earn love through our achievements. Society often reinforces these ideas, telling us that only perfection is worthy of love. But the act of loving yourself is a rebellion against this notion. It is the refusal to accept anything less than unconditional love from yourself. It is the decision to say, I don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love. I am worthy just as I am in this moment, flaws and all. This kind of love is not passive, it is an active, intentional choice. It's easy to love yourself when the world is kind, but it takes true courage to keep loving yourself when life gets hard. When you fail, when you experience rejection, or when you find yourself in the midst of a challenge, the real test of self-love is whether you can continue to be gentle with yourself. The world may tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not strong enough, or that you're not worthy of success. But when you love yourself, you listen to your own heart, and you remind yourself that your worth is not contingent on external approval or validation. Your value is inherent. Choosing to love yourself also means facing your fears head-on, with the understanding that no matter how daunting the world might seem, you are enough. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it anyway. It is understanding that you have the capacity to move forward, even when you're unsure of the outcome. It is knowing that your love for yourself will give you the strength to keep going, to rise again when life knocks you down, and to keep believing in yourself when others may not. Loving yourself is a choice, one that requires deep courage and commitment. It means refusing to settle for anything less than the deep, unwavering belief that you are worthy of love, your own love, first and foremost. It is about trusting yourself enough to know that, no matter what happens, you can handle it. It is the conviction that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise, stronger and more resolute, with love as your foundation. In this world, the greatest gift you can give yourself is the courage to love who you are. The more you choose to embrace yourself, the more you empower yourself to conquer anything that comes your way. For when you stand in love with yourself, there is nothing, no obstacle, no setback, no hardship that can take away your worth. You are enough, exactly as you are, and this love will be the driving force that propels you to greater heights. When you begin to truly love yourself, you start to build a wellspring of resilience from within. It is not just about feeling good in the moment, but about developing an inner strength that helps you navigate life's inevitable ups and downs. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep moving forward in the face of adversity, and to remain grounded even when the world around you seems to shift in ways you don't expect. And it is through the act of loving yourself deeply, wholeheartedly, that you begin to cultivate the kind of resilience that allows you to withstand life's storms and emerge stronger each time. Self-love is the foundation of resilience, because when you love yourself, you start to believe in your own capacity to handle whatever comes your way. You begin to trust that you are equipped with everything you need to face challenges, even when they seem overwhelming. This inner trust is powerful. When you believe in your ability to handle difficulties, you are no longer paralyzed by fear or self-doubt. Instead, you face each obstacle with the assurance that you will figure it out, that you will rise again no matter how hard the fall. Resilience doesn't mean you won't feel pain, frustration, or disappointment. Loving yourself doesn't mean you'll never experience hardship or failure. It means that when those things happen, you will have the strength to acknowledge them, learn from them, and move forward with a sense of purpose. It means understanding that pain is not something that defines you, but rather something that teaches you. Every challenge, no matter how difficult, offers you an opportunity to grow. And when you love yourself, you approach these moments not as proof of your inadequacy, but as stepping stones on your path to becoming the best version of yourself. When you love yourself, you start to see challenges through a different lens. Instead of viewing them as insurmountable obstacles or signs that you are failing, you start to see them as necessary parts of your journey. Every difficult experience offers valuable lessons. The beauty of resilience is that it doesn't come from avoiding the hard moments, but from learning how to rise from them. It is in those moments of struggle that you discover just how strong you are, how capable you are, and how much you are truly capable of achieving. Another key aspect of resilience is the ability to forgive yourself. When you love yourself, you stop holding on to guilt or regret. You understand that mistakes are part of being human, and that they don't define your worth. Self-love enables you to let go of the fear of failure, to release the pressure of perfection, and to embrace the idea that it's okay to fall short sometimes. In fact, it's more than okay, it's essential. It's only through failure that we learn how to get back up, how to try again, and how to become better. When you forgive yourself and show compassion toward your own imperfections, you free yourself from the burden of self-criticism, and you give yourself the space to grow. As you continue to cultivate self-love, you develop a deeper understanding of your own resilience. You realize that you are not just someone who survives difficulties, but someone who thrives because of them. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen your resolve and to prove to yourself that you are capable of weathering any storm. When life knocks you down, your love for yourself will be the force that lifts you back up. It will be the reminder that no matter how difficult the situation, no matter how many times you stumble, you will never lose your ability to rise again. Moreover, when you love yourself, you stop seeking validation from others in the way you once did. External approval is fleeting and often out of your control, but self-love is steadfast, anchored deep within you. You no longer depend on the opinions of others to dictate how you feel about yourself. This shift is empowering because it allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that your worth is not tied to anyone else's view of you. When you are grounded in self-love, you don't need permission from the world to be who you are. You stand firm in your own truth, and that unwavering confidence becomes an essential part of your resilience. With self-love comes the understanding that setbacks do not define you. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, but the more you nurture your love for yourself, the more you realize that no setback is permanent. Every challenge is temporary, and each setback is just an opportunity to learn and grow. Your ability to bounce back, to rise again, to remain steadfast in your belief in yourself, is the very essence of resilience. Self-love is the foundation upon which all of your strength is built. The more you practice loving yourself, the more resilient you become. You begin to realize that nothing can truly break you because your love for yourself is unshakable. It is the driving force that propels you through hardship, the light that guides you through dark times, and the strength that carries you forward. And as you continue on your journey, you will find that no matter what comes your way, you will always have the resilience to face it, overcome it, and emerge stronger than before. When you begin to love yourself, you unlock an incredible power to overcome challenges in ways you never imagined possible. Life has a way of testing us, presenting obstacles that feel insurmountable at times. There are moments when the path ahead seems unclear, when doubts cloud our minds, and when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear. But the beauty of self-love is that it becomes a force that pushes you through even the toughest of times. It gives you the strength to face difficulties head-on and reminds you that no matter how great the challenge, you are capable of overcoming it. When challenges arise, it's easy to feel defeated. The natural reaction is to shrink away, to question your abilities, to wonder if you have what it takes to persevere. But when you love yourself, you start to recognize that these challenges aren't indications of your inadequacy. They are simply part of the human experience, an opportunity for you to grow, learn, and become stronger. Self-love enables you to face these obstacles not with fear and self-doubt, but with a deep sense of trust in yourself. It is through this trust that you find the courage to keep moving forward, even when the path feels uncertain. Each challenge you face becomes an opportunity to deepen your relationship with yourself. As you love yourself more, you begin to realize that obstacles are not setbacks. They are invitations to rise to the occasion. When you encounter adversity, it's natural to feel fear and resistance. But loving yourself gives you the strength to move through those emotions, not to let them control you. You begin to see that fear doesn't have to paralyze you. Instead, it can be an indicator of growth. The more you lean into that fear with love and acceptance, the more you discover your own capacity for resilience and strength. Challenges no longer feel like roadblocks. They become stepping stones on the path to your personal growth. One of the greatest gifts of self-love is the ability to silence the inner critic, the voice that tells you you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, that you'll fail. This voice is loudest in moments of difficulty, trying to convince you that you're incapable. But when you love yourself, you learn to challenge this voice, to replace it with encouragement and compassion. Instead of berating yourself for mistakes or shortcomings, you offer yourself kindness. You remind yourself that it's okay to be imperfect, that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but simply part of the process. With this mindset, you begin to see challenges as opportunities to refine your skills, to learn new things, and to grow into a more resilient version of yourself. Self-love also teaches you the importance of perseverance. When you trust and love yourself, you stop seeing failure as something to be feared. Instead, you understand that setbacks are simply temporary and part of the journey. This shift in perspective allows you to keep moving forward when things get tough, to push through the resistance, and to continue striving for your goals. The ability to keep going, even when progress seems slow or obstacles feel overwhelming, is one of the greatest gifts of loving yourself. It's in these moments of perseverance that you develop a deeper understanding of your own strength. You learn that your ability to keep going, even when it feels difficult, is far more powerful than any challenge life may throw your way. Loving yourself also empowers you to set boundaries, something that is crucial when facing adversity. When you truly value yourself, you become more selective about where you invest your energy. You recognize that your time, your emotional well-being, and your physical health are all precious. As a result, you are able to say no to situations or people that drain you, and yes to those that nurture and support your growth. Setting these boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but an act of self-preservation. It enables you to conserve your energy and focus on what matters most, your own well-being and the pursuit of your dreams. By protecting yourself, you ensure that you have the strength and clarity to face challenges head-on without becoming overwhelmed by outside forces. As you continue to practice self-love, you'll find that you approach challenges with a greater sense of calm. When you trust yourself, when you believe in your own worth and abilities, fear loses its grip on you. Instead of being consumed by anxiety or self-doubt, you approach each obstacle with a sense of confidence that comes from knowing you are enough. This confidence isn't born from a place of arrogance, but from a deep, unwavering belief in your own potential. You understand that no challenge is too great to overcome because you have everything you need within you to rise above it. Loving yourself doesn't eliminate life's difficulties, but it transforms the way you face them. It gives you the courage to take risks, the strength to endure hardship, and the resilience to keep going when the road ahead seems unclear. With self-love as your foundation, there is no challenge that can defeat you. You have the power to overcome anything life presents because you know deep down that you are more than capable of rising to meet it. And with every challenge you conquer, your love for yourself grows stronger, and you move one step closer to becoming the person you are truly meant to be. When you begin to love yourself, you unlock the powerful realization that your worth is not dependent on the approval of others. In a world where external validation often shapes our sense of value, it can be easy to fall into the trap of thinking that your self-worth is tied to what others think of you. But when you learn to love yourself, you break free from this cycle and discover that true fulfillment comes not from others' opinions, but from within. You come to understand that you are worthy simply because you exist, regardless of how others perceive you or whether they accept you. Seeking validation from others is a natural human impulse. We all want to feel seen, heard, and appreciated. But the more we rely on external approval to define our sense of worth, the more vulnerable we become to the judgment of others. If we constantly measure ourselves by how others view us, we allow our value to be determined by forces outside our control. This is where self-love becomes a game changer. When you love yourself, you create a foundation of inner strength that doesn't require validation from anyone else. You realize that you are enough just as you are without needing anyone else's permission to be your true self. This shift in mindset is incredibly liberating. Instead of seeking approval from others, you start to look inward and ask yourself, do I approve of me? This question becomes the benchmark by which you measure your worth. When you love yourself, your happiness and fulfillment come from honoring your own values, desires, and needs. You no longer feel the need to conform to the expectations of others or live according to their standards. You begin to trust that your own judgment is the most important, and that your opinions about yourself hold far more weight than anyone else's. This internal validation is empowering because it gives you the freedom to pursue your own path without being hindered by fear of judgment. When you are no longer reliant on others to tell you what is right or acceptable, you give yourself the permission to follow your heart and chase your dreams. You start to recognize that the only person whose approval truly matters is your own. And with that realization comes a profound sense of liberation. You are free to live authentically, to express yourself fully, and to embrace your individuality without concern for what others may think. The more you love yourself, the more you realize that your journey is yours alone to take, and that the opinions of others do not define your value or your purpose. When you stop seeking validation from others, you also stop comparing yourself to them. So much of our self-worth is tied to how we measure up against the people around us. We look at others' successes, accomplishments, and lives, and we begin to believe that our own worth is diminished because we don't measure up. But self-love teaches you to release these comparisons. You understand that each person's journey is unique and that your worth is not contingent on being better than anyone else. Instead, you embrace the beauty of your own path, recognizing that your value is inherent, independent of external achievements or standards. You celebrate your own progress, no matter how small, and honor the journey you are on. This shift in focus also enables you to navigate relationships with greater confidence and clarity. When you love yourself, you are not looking to others to fill a void or make you feel whole. Instead, you engage with others from a place of abundance, knowing that your worth is already established. This allows you to form deeper, more authentic connections, as you no longer seek validation through people-pleasing or constantly trying to gain others' approval. You can be fully present in relationships, giving and receiving love freely without the need for constant reassurance. Your love for yourself strengthens your boundaries and your ability to maintain healthy, balanced relationships because you are no longer willing to compromise your sense of self in order to gain approval. Loving yourself also means letting go of the need for perfection. So often we think that if we can just be perfect, look perfect, act perfect, be the best at everything, then we will be worthy of love and acceptance. But self-love teaches us that perfection is an illusion. You realize that your imperfections are part of what makes you uniquely beautiful. The flaws, the mistakes, the moments of vulnerability, they are what make you human, and they are what connect you to others in the most authentic way. When you love yourself, you no longer seek perfection because you understand that your worth is not defined by your ability to meet unrealistic standards. You are worthy simply by being you, exactly as you are. In moments when you may feel insecure or doubt your own worth, your love for yourself becomes the anchor that keeps you grounded. It is in these times that your inner voice, the voice of self-love, becomes a guiding force, reminding you that you are enough. This internal affirmation helps you navigate the moments of uncertainty with grace, knowing that you don't need anyone's approval to be whole. You have everything you need within you to thrive, and the love you give yourself is the most important source of validation you will ever need. Ultimately, loving yourself teaches you that you are worthy of all the good things life has to offer, not because of what others think of you, but simply because you are. Your worth is inherent, and when you fully embrace this truth, you unlock a power that can't be diminished by anyone else's opinion. When you love yourself, you no longer seek validation from the outside world because you realize that you are already enough, exactly as you are. The love you give yourself is the most powerful source of strength and affirmation you will ever need, and it will carry you through every challenge, triumph, and moment of growth along the way. When you begin to truly love yourself, you tap into a wellspring of energy and motivation that can drive you to achieve things you once thought were out of reach. The love you have for yourself becomes the fuel that propels you forward, even when the journey is difficult or uncertain. Too often we look outside of ourselves for inspiration or motivation, waiting for something or someone to spark the drive we need. But when you learn to love yourself deeply, you realize that the power to pursue your dreams and overcome obstacles is already within you. Your self-love becomes the internal force that lights the way, giving you the courage and resilience to take action and keep going, no matter what. Self-love is the foundation of all personal growth. It is the belief that you are worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment. When you love yourself, you stop holding yourself back. You no longer second-guess your abilities or question whether you deserve to achieve your dreams. Instead, you start to see your potential with clarity and confidence. You recognize that you have everything you need inside you to create the life you desire. This shift in mindset is powerful because it transforms the way you approach challenges. Instead of viewing them as obstacles or reasons to give up, you begin to see them as opportunities to grow and evolve. The love you have for yourself fuels your belief that you are capable of overcoming any challenge, and this belief becomes a driving force behind your actions. When you love yourself, you cultivate the courage to take risks. You stop letting fear control your decisions, knowing that failure is not something to be afraid of, but something to learn from. The more you love yourself, the more you understand that taking action, even in the face of uncertainty, is necessary for growth. Self-love gives you the confidence to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace the unknown. It allows you to trust that no matter what happens, you will be okay. This trust in yourself is a powerful motivator, pushing you to try new things, face your fears, and take bold steps toward your goals. It is through this courage that you begin to realize just how much you are capable of achieving. Loving yourself also means giving yourself the permission to dream big. So often we hold ourselves back because we feel we don't deserve the success we envision or that our goals are too lofty. But when you love yourself, you realize that there is no limit to what you can achieve. You begin to see your dreams as not only possible, but as something that is meant for you. Your love for yourself gives you the permission to pursue your passions without hesitation, to take the necessary steps toward your goals, and to believe that you are worthy of the success you desire. The more you embrace your worth, the more you are willing to go after the things that truly light you up, knowing that you have the power to make them a reality. This sense of worth also allows you to take consistent action. Loving yourself means understanding that progress is made through small, consistent steps, not overnight transformations. When you trust and love yourself, you stop expecting immediate results and start focusing on the journey. You recognize that each effort, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Self-love gives you the patience to continue putting in the work, even when the results aren't immediately visible. It helps you stay committed to the process, knowing that every step you take is a step toward growth and success. Your belief in yourself, rooted in self-love, gives you the perseverance to keep going, even in the face of setbacks or challenges. When you love yourself, you also become more compassionate with yourself during moments of struggle. Instead of beating yourself up when things don't go as planned, you offer yourself grace and encouragement. You understand that mistakes are part of the process and that they don't define you. Self-love allows you to approach setbacks with a positive mindset, seeing them as valuable learning experiences rather than failures. This shift in perspective helps you to stay motivated and continue moving forward, even when things don't go exactly as expected. The more you practice self-love, the more you learn to trust that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and that each setback is simply a lesson on the way to success. Moreover, self-love brings clarity to your goals. When you truly love yourself, you begin to listen to your inner voice, your intuition, and your desires. You stop seeking external validation or approval and start trusting what feels right for you. This inner clarity helps you set meaningful, authentic goals that align with your true purpose and passion. Loving yourself means giving yourself permission to pursue what excites and inspires you, without worrying about what others might think or whether your goals fit into a conventional mold. It allows you to align your actions with your deepest values, creating a sense of fulfillment and purpose as you work toward your dreams. In essence, self-love is not just about feeling good in the moment, it is about building a life that is aligned with your true desires and values. The more you love yourself, the more you realize that you are the author of your own story. You hold the power to create the life you want, and the love you have for yourself is the driving force that keeps you moving forward. Your self-love fuels your motivation, giving you the courage to take risks, the resilience to keep going, and the belief that everything you desire is within your reach. The more you nurture this love, the more unstoppable you become, and the more you begin to see that there is no limit to what you can achieve when you trust in your own potential. When you love yourself, you begin to see that nothing in life can truly break you. Challenges, obstacles, and setbacks no longer have the same power over you because you have something more unshakable, your own self-belief. Life will undoubtedly throw hardships your way. There will be moments when you face difficult choices, experience loss, or encounter failure. Yet, when you love yourself deeply, you realize that none of these experiences can take away your worth. No matter how many times you fall, you always have the power to rise again. Loving yourself gives you an incredible sense of inner strength. It is the foundation from which all resilience is built. The more you love yourself, the more you develop an unshakable belief that you have everything within you to weather any storm. In moments of adversity, this self-love becomes your anchor. It allows you to stand tall, even when the world seems to be crumbling around you, because you know that you are not defined by your circumstances. You are not defined by your failures or the challenges you face. You are defined by your strength, your ability to rise, and your unbreakable belief in your worth. This unbreakable sense of self comes from the understanding that life is a series of ebbs and flows. There will be high points, but there will also be low points. However, when you love yourself, you come to understand that even in the toughest moments, you have the resilience to persevere. Every setback, every challenge, every hardship is temporary. The power of self-love lies in knowing that, no matter how difficult things get, you will always find a way to move forward. Your love for yourself gives you the strength to endure, to adapt, and to find your way through the storm. You also begin to see that failure is not something that can break you. When you love yourself, you understand that mistakes are part of the process. They are not a reflection of your worth, but rather opportunities for growth and learning. With self-love, failure is not something to fear or avoid, it is something to embrace and learn from. You realize that no matter how many times you stumble, you will always have the strength to get back up, learn from the experience, and keep going. When you truly love yourself, nothing in life has the power to defeat you. Every obstacle becomes a chance to prove your resilience, to rise again, and to grow stronger. You'll become unstoppable, not because you are immune to hardship, but because you know that you have the strength to face whatever comes your way and emerge even more empowered than before. When you begin to love yourself, you realize that there is no challenge too great for you to overcome. You start to understand that the obstacles in your life are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth and transformation. The love you have for yourself becomes the inner strength that empowers you to keep moving forward, no matter how tough things may seem. Life will always present difficulties, but self-love gives you the courage to face them head-on, knowing that you have the power to rise above anything that stands in your way. Self-love is the fuel that drives you to take action, even when fear or uncertainty tries to hold you back. When you truly love yourself, you stop waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions. You recognize that the courage to act comes from within, and it is in those moments of discomfort and challenge that your greatest potential is realized. You learn to trust yourself and your abilities, knowing that each step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goals. The beauty of loving yourself is that it doesn't make the challenges disappear, but it does transform the way you approach them. Instead of being paralyzed by fear or doubt, you develop the resilience to face adversity with confidence. When you love yourself, you understand that difficulties are part of life and that they do not diminish your worth. Rather, they are the very experiences that shape you, that test your strength, and that ultimately lead you to greater heights. Loving yourself also means understanding that you don't have to be perfect to overcome challenges. You no longer strive for an unattainable ideal of flawlessness. Instead, you embrace your imperfections and see them as part of your unique strength. It's in those moments when things don't go as planned, when you stumble or fall, that your love for yourself becomes even more important. You offer yourself kindness and patience, knowing that setbacks are simply opportunities to learn and grow. This compassionate approach helps you stay motivated and determined to continue on your path, regardless of the obstacles in your way. The more you love yourself, the more you begin to realize that there is nothing in life that can truly defeat you. With each challenge you overcome, your self-love grows stronger, and you become more confident in your ability to handle whatever comes next. You become unstoppable, not because life is easy, but because you know that no matter what happens, you have the strength to rise again.